everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome tonight. It's Scorpio season, and I'm doing a Scorpio compatibility reading tonight. So a little bit about that, and I have a famous couple in that combination I like to talk about that are two Scorpios, Julia Roberts and Lyle Lovett. They're both Scorpios, and the little write-up in here is the Willie Beauty Roberts, sister of actor Eric, had a mediocre rise in the late 80s and was nominated for an Oscar for 90s for Pretty Woman. Everyone loved that one. I love that movie. She surprised the public in 93 with her sudden marriage to Lovett, a mostly country singer with an eraser head pompadour. They were divorced in 95. And a little bit about the Scorpio combination here. This is an intense matchup. Cries out for relief how these two possibly live under the same roof or work side by side. The key to the relationship's success may be an effort for the partners to manage their defining characteristics, their intensity. They will periodically have to call a truce or give some priority to relaxation in certain areas at certain times. Their unstoppable energies will meld efficiently. At other times, the partners can easily work to their own, even Corinne out of control. They both occasionally need to let up in their attentiveness to detail and try to see the larger picture. A reoccurring problem here is tendency to fixate on the unpleasant events in the past and observing one in the present or dreaded one in the future, and to be unable to let go of it. The relationship can be obsessive, sometimes more concerned with performance and technical criteria than with enjoyment and pleasure. Scorpio couples can plague each other with a checklist. Did you? These are kind of questions they might ask, or at least think about each time. Each of them can take it's their responsibility alone to bring satisfaction to the other, and when this doesn't happen, they can assume it is their fault. Guilty, frustrated feelings often result. Marriages are likely to be less demanding. A tight ship is similarly this rule in domestic areas and finances, but here certain compromises can be worked out for the sake of sanity. Interesting. Friendship in this combination are likely to have an aggressiveness best worked out in sports, competitive games, fitness training, or martial arts. In the family, Scorpio parents can be competitive with Scorpio child, whether for the attention of another family member or simply to gain physical or mental. It can be a bad idea for two Scorpios to work in the same office or small groups, since the tension of their energy can be easily spread to other coworkers. Interesting. The advice here is take a break from other people's demands, empty your mind, let yourself be bored occasionally, work on accepting what fate dishes out. Interesting. And also, another couple in this combination that I found very interesting, Dale Evans and Roy Rogers. Evans and Rogers were married in 1947 and had a cowboy-cowgirl romance. They made many movies together, starred in their own TV series, The Roy Rogers Show, from 1951 to 57, and got very wealthy through wise business ventures. So, interesting. These two are often attractive physically, although Scorpio is a water sign. Their relationship is ruled by Earth, which is very interesting there too. representing grounded, practical, sensuous energies encountered between these two to indicate their beliefs that it can be fatal to underestimate one's opponent. Circling each other, they are usually highly suspicious of each other on first meetings. So, yet, although they will never forget their first encounter, they may later become fast friends. From the outside, this matchup can seem light and breezy. Few would suspect its true nature. Heavy Scorpio can actually have a lot to learn from each other. A mutual education they acquire through the experiences they go through together. This learning experience is nowhere more evident than in the realms of sex and money. In the field, whether as lovers or business partners, even the most naive Scorpio will follow a crash course together, receiving a full education and probably even a graduate degree in record time. That's great. The chemistry here is such that without reading books or even a whole lot of prior experience, the partners quickly develop an extraordinary appreciation of power and how it works. The marriage must have a rock solid material base for them to be truly satisfied and fulfilled. Once that foundation is laid, the couple must be dedicated for them to truly or maintain it. Something they are usually capable of doing. If the relationship grows and prospers, friendships manifest less interesting and power than other relationships in the combination. In fact, two may give the concern with the material realm in favor of more spiritual goals. If this process involves practical values, it can be extremely painful for both parties. In the family, Scorpio and Scorpio relatives can get locked in struggle over inheritance, property, and cash, arguments that ultimately symbolize a thirst for siblings' love that has been withheld. The advice here is don't neglect the spiritual side of life. Acquisitions can be the first lesson, but non-attachment will be the final one. Don't be too stubborn to listen. So that sounds good. Here's some more. The roots of this relationship go deep, whether these two are involved socially, emotionally, or financially. One feels that their ties are inevitable. Fate, like and dislikes are not important motives here. Free choice isn't really involved, usually thrown together in situations. The partners slowly come to realize that their fortunes are linked. Oddly enough, mutual understanding is often difficult for them, as if they had come from different planets. Over the years, however, their unusual discover their common origins, and this process of self-discovery can become the focus of their relationship. Love affairs are slow to develop. It can take years for these two to get together and more for them to begin to know each other. But exploring the meaning of the relationship together will lead each of them on their own path to self-realization. And marriage, similarly agonizing, at very least painstaking process must undergo before the partners finally agree to tie the knot. But once they do, they rarely look back. Absolute commitment is a keynote here. Infidelities or even flirtations will not be tolerated. Family relationships and friendships can become the basis for career connection and vice versa. The point is that neither of these two trust easily, so that they may need a firm commitment in one area of life before they can set up a relationship in another. They can be extremely closed mouthed about what they do and will view and disclosure of inside information as betrayal. Their strong moral codes may come to govern almost every area of their lives, yet they are not incapable of acting for ends or staging power plays. They must at some point decide whether the relationship has achieved a chokehold over them against which they need to rebel for the sake of preserving their individuality. Interesting. The advice here: encourage freedom of choice whenever possible. Don't tie yourself down to commitment. Follow your intuition and your heart. So, very interesting write up about the Scorpio here. And to all the Scorpios, birthday, happy birthday. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Comment below that you subscribe. Thanks again for watching.